Who would have thought that the Disney Store would have beat Mattel to releasing a full-scale die-cast version of Ivy, basically the main new star from Cars on the Road, especially after the Disney Store hasn't put out really anything new over the last year. But hey, I mean, Mattel did cancel their deluxe line, so they're squeaking it into an Amazon 3-pack, which we just learned of a week or so ago. So yeah, at least we're going to get them both, but the Disney Store, aka Shop Disney, did beat Mattel. So here we have it. Of course, I did my little overview breakdown video of all 3 of these box sets that they released yesterday, and those include Mater. That's not Mater, that is McQueen. This is Mater here, and so I will be reviewing those as the week goes on. A lot of people in that video commented like, where are the unboxings? I said in the video that I will be posting them as the week goes on, starting with Ivy, because obviously that's the most exciting one, just because, you know, it's our first look really at a full-scale die-cast version of her. We have the mini version, we have this plastic one, there's the leaping one that Mattel put out, which I'm just going to disregard. And so I'm very excited to see how the Disney Store did with theirs. It looks really good in the packaging, so let's take a closer look here. So they're using pretty standard Cars on the Road packaging with the same font that Mattel does, the same map design. I do wish they put the artwork for Ivy on the package somewhere, whether it be, you know, Mater McQueen Ivy on every single one, or they just showed the character you're getting on the package. I think that would have been better. And as I mentioned in the video yesterday, there's a lot of dead space in these packagings. They all cost $17. And the other 2 have 3 costumes, but this one only has 2, probably because Ivy's just simply bigger. And the third one would have had to been like the purple big brain zombie one that they did in the B-movie episode, which just really would have been tough to do. So yeah, I like the presentation though. It looks really nice. Just a little bit of dead space, I'd say. Interchangeable attachments. Well, there's one. And this is a pullback, so they're continuing with the pullbacks. I'm not a huge fan of that. I wish that they would just make them regular die-cast like they did, you know, for 12, 13, 14 years, probably even more than that. But you could see an image here of the regular Ivy along with the costume skin that you can place over her. I did find it a little weird in yesterday's video. I know I mentioned this, that they don't actually show how it will look with that on Ivy. It kind of tells me that they don't think it actually looks super good, and that's why they aren't showing you, and you're not going to find out until you... I snapped my T, guys, but I guess now it's sharper. Oh yeah. Until you open it up and find out for yourself how it looks. Now, I could be entirely wrong, but I did watch Astro Smokey's video on these, which I definitely recommend checking out as well. And he did not like them very much, so I'm a little disappointed because I was very excited to get these, like I talked about in yesterday's video, which I also recommend you check out. I'll be right back, though, with this all unboxed. All right, so here they are out of the packaging. It does come with a quote-unquote instruction manual with quantities of the pieces included. You have 1 Ivy, 1 skin, and yep, clamp on it. I think that was pretty self-explanatory, but at least they did put that in there. And I do have to say, I am starting to see what Astro Smokey was talking about. This skin costume here is uber thin. Like, it is... I want to say it's probably just as thin, if not thinner, than a piece of paper like that instruction manual. I mean, this feels very flimsy. If you happen to step on it, yeah, it's probably a goner. If you drop Ivy on it, yeah, it's probably a goner. If you have it on Ivy and you're using the pullback feature and she falls off a table or something, yeah, it's probably a goner. This thing is so very fragile. It feels really cheap, to be honest with you guys. And you know me, I praise, whether it be Mattel, Disney, or Tomica, I praise what they do in terms of Disney cars because I love it all the time, but I also call it how I see it. And that skin just doesn't seem like it's a very well-made product. Anyway, there is Ivy from Cars on the Road. And then there she is with the moss. So we'll obviously put the skin on her in a moment, and then you could see the two. I do have to say, I really am liking how she looks though, just without any skin at all, just as a pure die cast. I tried to do the pullback just kind of off screen and test it. I really couldn't get it to go. Like, I got the wheels to spin, but as soon as I set her down on the ground, it would just stop. So, I mean, you're supposed to pull it back, right? I'm not completely incompetent. And, like, see how it gets the wheel turning there? Oh, wait, maybe it looks like it's going almost backward. What? I guess maybe. I don't know. The pullback's just not really vibing for me right now. It's probably something I'm doing, probably some sort of human error. But, I mean, I did graduate Notre Dame. I should be able to figure out how to work a pullback car here. But regardless of that, I don't care really about the pullback. Honestly, wish they didn't do it. But in terms of Ivy, as a diecast here, I'm a big fan. This car is gorgeous. Perfect colors, in my opinion, way better than Mattel's Mini Racer, which is truly like a metallic version of Ivy. And no, we just kind of want regular Ivy, at least to start off here, but they gave us this metallic one that's not accurate at all. The plastic version from the Circus Showtime Stunt Loop, whatever, playset looks, you know, it's definitely a better color, but obviously it's missing a lot of details, and it's completely plastic. Yeah, it's missing so many different details. And so this is really, you know, if Mattel, if they got this out like a couple months ago, they would have sold so many more of these because no one had any idea if Mattel was going to do an Ivy or not. So yeah, it kind of sucks for them about how the timing of this all worked out, but I have to say this right here is phenomenal. I am a huge fan altogether. Take a look at the light bar here. You can see it's kind of in like the bronze copper tone. It is a plastic piece, but it feels really firm. The side view mirrors are kind of like a rubbery, so they can move around a little bit. She does have rubber tires, and they look great, man. I love the orange trim in there with the black. That looks super accurate to how it should be. You have the taillights painted. You have the bronze piece here in the bed. Not sure what this would be called exactly. If you know what this is technically called, let me know. I like the coloring here on her chassis, like a lot of monster trucks, you know, whether it be Hot Wheels or Mattel. I mean, they just don't seem super detailed on the chassis, but they did a nice job of painting, whether it be those silver parts, the gold, the orange. It all looks great. I'm a huge fan of this Ivy diecast, and it was really the main draw for me for these 3 box sets. I mean, the fact that we get a like really solid Ivy diecast finally really should have been out months ago when Cars on the Road came out, or even a month before Cars on the Road came out. So big fan of this. This might in and of itself make the box set worth buying, but we're going to see what happens when we put the skin on here. Now I will say the skin, the moss is like it's soft, like it's felt. Whereas the like brown parts are just plastic, just the thin material. But the green parts are like they're soft, you know, it feels like fabric. That's pretty cool. It's like their Sergeant High gear that they did way back when. So you just kind of slide it on the top. It doesn't really clamp in or anything like that. You could already see how it's bending right there in the corner, and it's not supposed to be bending like that, and it left a crease just because it's so weak. I'm happy that it covers. See, this is the problem that I'm foreseeing with these, is that like an angle like that, you could see the turquoise underneath. That doesn't look great. Certainly doesn't really look great in the back here, where you could see this piece, and you could see the turquoise from the back window there. So don't look at it from that way. Yeah, I noticed this with, I think, Deputy McQueen, especially in Astro Smokey's video, that you can still see some of the red underneath, which really makes for an incongruous viewing experience, not a pleasant thing to look at, because it's two ideals clashing that really have no business being together. especially like this here, you know, Mossy Ivy, been living out in the woods for God knows how long. You don't want to see her perfectly clean turquoise paint that was just washed in a whale, right? So yeah, I mean, from straight ahead, looks pretty good. Again, this here, down here, I mean, that's super clean and everything. I'm not a big fan. We'll see what happens when / if Mattel does their versions, and then we can compare. And hey, maybe Mattel struggles with this too. But I do think that, especially this skin here in particular, you know, it's just so thin. It's so flimsy. Like, look, you could bend this to your will. I do like that they made an effort in changing the expression though, so I guess that's kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, overall, I am a huge fan of beautiful Ivy here. Like, really, she looks just like she rolled out of the whale car wash. She's glistening. The expression is perfect. I think it's one of the best Disney Store expressions ever. I mean, I think the ones on McQueen and Mater here are horrible, and I haven't even taken them out of the box yet. But I think Ivy looks great. They nailed her. I'm telling you guys, I know I've complained a lot about these so far, but they nailed Ivy. And if no reason than to just get her, this is a pretty good set. $17. I know you're going to be able to get the Mater, McQueen, and Ivy Mattel diecast 3-pack on Amazon for probably $15. So if you want to wait for that, you know, obviously, by all means, but this is going to be a larger scale. You could already tell. You know, it's quite a bit bigger than what the Mattel size will be. Yeah, the diecast Mattel version will be around this size for sure. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a great display piece. I can't wait to set it up in my display. I certainly won't be using this, though. Or maybe I will, just because of the fact that now I don't have to store something else. And also, when I get the Mattel version, I'll be able to have like both of them, you know, the Moss version and the regular version displayed. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about this Ivy box set from Shop Disney? Will you be picking it up, or will you pass on it? Wait for Mattel. Will you get both of them like me? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear and strike up a conversation with you. I think tomorrow, maybe I will review the Lightning McQueen set. And then after that, I will do Mater, or maybe I'll switch it up. Who knows? But either way, they'll all get reviewed in a very timely fashion. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. Bye now.